hold up.
I know.
Yeah.
What up, y'all? You know who it is. Your boy Jada
But
Kish. Y'all
yeah,
there right now with Chris
let's
Jones.
go.
Shout out to Camden, New Jersey. All my niggas out there. Let's get right into it. Yeah.
BTBTV.
BTBTV. Chris Jones, man.
Salute.
Yo, born, let's get him, man. Yeah.
Yeah, never off plan. Used to get busy with them guns in my hand. 4 or 5 or a black 9 with a grand in my pocket and beef cool as a fan. BTBTV, we are not playing. Y'all just talk, we back it up and down. Sideways, F what y'all saying. We Kyrie and Kanye. This a boss talk, so you clowns should just fly away. Yeah. Hop on the bridge, throw your frame off the highway. This not a game, this is business, this my way. Real talk, your opinion is nothing to us. We gon' stay on chill, long as y'all don't violate. But it's not fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you could be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better be
This my little brother right here.
Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't
You got
fair.
that Nas flow.
But we the best,
Yeah,
I
word.
swear.
Yeah.
We the best,
Chris
stay
Jones.
up in the mix.
Yeah.
A project politics,
And he don't
kind
cuss
sick.
either.
Name well
cuss
known
either.
from the hood to the sticks. 100 on the highway, flying so fast, burn the gears when I shift. Some people kick dirt on your name, what shoes you gave them. Broke your back for them and they got the nerve to play you. Kick raps door off, pushed and shoved my way through. Bum rush the kitchen, put my floor up on the menu. The jealousy be hitting up in jokes. That's why I stay serious like David Banner turned in the Hulk in pure form like the Pope. Haters get infrared beams with the scope, so run and get ghosts.
So,
We fight good, boxed in like Floyd on the ropes. I'm the great black hope. Man, we the team and they know it coast to coast and it just ain't fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you can be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware. Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. We the best, if you with us, put your lighters in the air. No, it just ain't fair.
BTBTV. Just ain't fair, man. Yeah.
all right, let's go. We gotta have a dope interview. We got an urban legend in the building. We got an urban legend of literature in the building. We got the brother. This one of the brothers that made me want to start writing when I was locked up, bro. Because his books was like so dealing with reality. You know what I'm saying? It was so real because it don't matter what hood you from. If you from a hood, the same story applies to each hood. It's always a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but it's always
the faces and the names just change. That's it. Well, that's the only thing that changes is the faces and the names.
That's it.
Indeed.
Same soup, different bowl. Same soup, different bowl. Real fact.
So, we'll let you start from the beginning. Start where you was born from, where you came from, and then we'll work up to.
Hold on, guy. You don't mind? I just want to say something. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, urban writer, man. You know, strong black man, a father, entrepreneur, well-rounded. Learn how to. You know, I want to say this first because a lot of us don't know. You know what I'm saying? In the streets, I call most of us like cats. We all figure out if we do got 9 lives. And this man has lived several different lives. So it's several chapters that in his, as an author, he has also wrote his life as an author. He's got several chapters and we're going to try to unfold them. And I just want to salute one king to another. You know, again, further ado, Mr. Holmes, we appreciate you even blessing the panel and giving us some knowledge and also teach these young men, even though you want to be out there in the streets, your brain is more powerful in the mental than your body in the physical. So on that note, I just want to give you your roses, King, because at the end of the day, we forget, even though your talent is a father. You learn how to be a father at a short period of time without having those guidance. So I just want to say that. I know that kind of hit different, but I had to come at you different. Everybody else.
It definitely hit different, but you know, I had, you know, fortunately I had my father all my life, man. So I I knew what I saw when I came from marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of dudes, they don't have well, we all have choices. A lot of dudes, you know, they kind of steered into the streets. I was never supposed to be there. At the same token, I was where I was at for a reason. For that reason, for that moment in time, I was where I was at. And there's no way I could have ever got the information to bring to the masses had I not been in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Because people can spot a phony a mile away. You know what I'm saying?
Real
so
talk.
With my books, I try to preach without being preachy. I try to give you the game so you don't get game. I try to tell people the real and keep it 100 all the way through, because nobody ever told me that I could get killed doing what I was doing. They told me I could get rich, but more dudes that I know got killed than got rich.
That's a fact. Me too.
So I give it to you. I took a page out of the late great Donald Goins. I took a page out of his books. His books were always so harsh and no happy endings. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. I love that about Donald Goins, man.
Yeah.
So me, man, I appreciate that. Me, I came from a 2-parent home all my life. 6 of us, 3 boys, 3 girls. I'm the last of 6. I had a brother that's a cop. He's still alive. Another brother that's CO. And me, I was just the crook. On the lawless one. You know, pissed to the same bed, same mother and father, right?
Right.
But what happened with me, what endured with me was I got caught up in an epidemic. Not a pandemic, the epidemic, which was the crack epidemic. You know, and you know, black folks, we had seen the heroin in the 60s. But I would, you know, see the crack in the 80s. And people say they're 80s babies and just because you was born in the 80s. 80s babies does not mean that. 80s babies mean that you was moving in the 80s. You was coming up age in the 80s.
Facts.
And I was coming up age in the 80s.
Facts.
So
if you don't mind, Shannon, like, so how long was, since you was the last one, or what they call the baby of the family, my question to you was, what was the age gap of your brothers and sisters? Was there a big difference age gap?
The oldest is my oldest brother is 10 years older than me. My older sister is 9 years older than me. Then the other one is like 8 years older. So them 3 are real close. Then my next brother is 5 years older than me. And then I have a twin sister. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot. That's a lot of things people don't even know. People don't know that about me. I got a twin, but I never really talk about my brothers and sisters like that, because I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone. So yeah. So I have brothers and sisters, but I really like speak about them, not because, you know, that they weren't my brothers and sisters, because I kind of felt like I kind of grew up, you know, in my formative years by myself.
Facts.
You know, my brothers.
That's why I asked that.
My brothers went to the military. So when my first brother, I come from a military family. My father was in the military. My father told me, he said, the military make a man out you. And I said, well, I got to go to the military to be a man. This is probably me at like 8 years old, 7 years old saying that. But he's telling me what he knew, right? Because my father's from the South. And that's why I laugh about a lot of people from New York. If you're of a certain age, your parents is from the South, bro.
That's a fact. I'm glad you said it. You hear that, Born?
If you're of a certain age, your parents is from the South.
That's a fact.
My mother from South Carolina, my father from Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And they met in New York. Everybody was coming to New York or to these urban cities for a better way of life at some point in time. Bam. So that's kind of how my life was. So at my first brother went to the military. I probably was 8, because he's 10 years older than me. He went at 18. My next brother went to the military. I was 12. And it was expected of me to go to the military, but I knew at 8 years old I wasn't going to the military. So I didn't like taking my father's orders. How am I gonna like taking the strangers' orders? And that's when the military was the military back then in the 70s.
So I got a question for you, King. So by your brothers, and I know, like you say, because I look at stuff, I ask different real life questions so people understand where you came from, how your mind frame. So did it affect you when your brothers and them end up leaving because you maybe looked at them from a different way and you didn't have?
Oh man, like that's a good question. But yeah, my big brother left, man. I idolized my big brother. Hell yeah, it affected me.
Real talk.
Hell yeah. I
Real
love
talk.
that man, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my guy. It was everything I wanted to be in life. You know what I'm saying? Not that my father wasn't, but my brother was just so cool to me.
Exactly.
As a child.
Yeah,
as a child. You look up to your big brother.
So he had you more or less like, so when he left, and I'm just asking, this is for everybody to understand, like even with separation, when he left, do you feel like he left you and went and did his own thing? Real talk, now.
We would have conversations about that. Later on in life. And what he would tell me was, you know, he was involved with some things he had to get away. We had to get away from. You know what I'm saying? So once he almost got locked up for a homicide, he had to leave.
That's real talk. That's deep. That's deep.
I wasn't even aware of it, but you know, him and his friend got into something. His friend killed somebody. They was there. He was there. You know what I'm saying? But luckily, the friend cut him loose.
Man.
So you don't even know what nobody else is going through at 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? You know, but my brother was, you know, he was that dude. He was that guy. You know what I'm saying? You know, he had to be.
Yeah.
Because he was basically the second in command around here.
Yeah, and that's how it was with my family. Like I was close to my cousins and them. And when my cousin went to the military, I didn't know. I kind of despised him. I'm like, man, you was like my superhero, bro. I need you out here. Now you gone. You got a whole new life. I understand at that age, you can't call me like you're supposed to call me. And sometimes I need you, but I can't just reach out to you like that. If you was there.
The military was different back then, bro. It was like calls a couple times a month. You might come home every 60, every 90, every 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So you're coming into your own. So I was left with my other brother. Who you know, it's my brother, but we wasn't really. We more bickered. We too close to age, so we more bickered.
Right.
He didn't have the love and embrace my other brother had for me. He didn't have the patience my other brother had for me. But in the same token, he made me too, because he made me tougher. That's so when Jay-Z, when Jay-Z said that, he said, I just smiled because my big brother just made me tougher. I got that.
That's right. Real
my brother put the beats on me a lot of days. And every time, so when my other brother would come home from leave, I'd be like, yo, Bobby, Derek hit me, and he would fire him up. Boop, 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 boop.
So you couldn't wait till he came home to tell him.
But that's then, when he was on his way to the airport, my brother would be like, yo, what's up now?
Yeah, real talk.
So
real
it
talk.
always he came back in that same circle right back to me. I might get him back to my brother, but he would get me back when he leaves.
Right.
So it was check and then checkmate.
So did you ever have an urge when you was 7 and 8 to think, okay, did you start doing that when your brother really left, as far as the writing skills, or you started going into, most kids go into the imagination,
No, that didn't happen to her. I didn't write anything. The first thing I ever wrote was a book. I didn't have any, I wasn't writing haikus and poems and stuff like that. No, I wasn't like, but what I always was this. As a kid, I read a lot of books. I went to the library, but my books was just sports themed because I had hoop dreams. You know what I'm saying? So I would read like The Legend of Dr. J. But if the book was too big, I wouldn't read it. I get the smaller version. I would get the smaller version of that book. Oh, this book too big. Now I ain't reading that, but I read this thin one. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I had to do book reports. So I always had that reading thing in me. I always liked to read, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like I was sitting in the crib reading. Nah, I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know, to be honest. Like when teachers used to, ask you as a kid what you wanted to be, I ain't know. And I felt so wrong for not knowing. You know what I'm saying? You feel like, damn, so I would make something up. Whatever sounded good, whatever somebody else didn't say, I would try to say it before them. You know what I mean? Because the teachers had a habit of doing that, especially in elementary school. What you want to be when you grow up? What you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
And it makes you feel so bad when you don't, but it's all right not to know.
Right.
So you know,
you think a lot of these kids are lost because, again, like you said, it took you so long, and the way the world is moving so fast is that you find yourself where these kids are falling quicker behind, because it's almost like when you started learning how to explore your mind and write, it was like you found out all these new things, and a lot of these young kids haven't even tapped into that. And the way the world's moving right now.
the way the world's moving, everything is so congested, and everything is all in your face, or it's pressuring you. You know, even if you ain't what you want to be, you gonna act like what you want to be. You gonna pretend that you that person, whatever. But for me, I had to be by myself just to find myself.
I had to too. I had to.
You know
That's
what I'm
some
saying?
deep shit. That's some deep shit.
So, you know, the things that I put value on in hindsight, they were worthless. But we don't know that as a kid. We were putting value, but I think I'm getting ahead of the story. So
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. And I'm gonna let King speak too. I'm getting ahead of it too. I'm just curious, man.
It's good dialogue. That's how it's supposed to be. Good dialogue.
So I think I'm getting ahead of the story with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, go through life. So as each sibling left, life for me got better. Better.
That's
each one
deep.
through the coop. Boom. Remember, I'm the last. So,
right.
You know, I had things that they didn't have. You know what I'm saying? So,
wow.
Sister left, brother left, sisters got pregnant, left. My other brother went to the military. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, behind hindsight, had my brothers been around, there wouldn't have been no Shannon. The Shannon Holmes, you know, wouldn't have existed because he couldn't exist. Because my brother was too respected in the streets for that to happen.
Gotcha.
The dudes that would eventually put me in the game or give me drugs would never have done that if my brother was around.
That's true.
But now, my brother's a half a world away. So you know what they're saying? Yo, how your brother doing? Well, he good. He in Korea. As they give me a package. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I had another friend, Nelson Hayes, and he had a brother named Vern. He had like about 6 or 7 brothers, but his one brother was really in the streets, right? And I can remember even when Nelson would come out there just to play, just to hang or play with us. You know what I'm saying? Because all the time when we were on the block, you're not hustling. We just on the block. Not that I lived on the block, but I was, from that block. I went to school with him, and 9 times out of 10, who you go to school with is going to determine what you're going to be in life. You know what I'm saying? So my friends sold drugs, so I sold drugs, and people think peer pressure is fake. Peer pressure is real, and then when you get in jail, it becomes tear pressure.
I like that. You said tear pressure. I like that.
I seen dudes have to do things to other dudes that they wasn't really cut for. They wasn't really like that, but they had to do it because the streets was watching. The tear was watching to see what you going to do.
So I got a question. Do you think a lot of times these young kids, because that's what they don't understand, you go and bang, bang, like I heard you say, you hate to see these kids with these guns and stuff like that, and they go and they bang, bang and shoot them up, but they don't realize when they go to jail, it's a whole different ball game.
You gotta check those knives in at the door. You check them knives at the door. Is what you gonna do with them hands now? You know what I'm saying?
Because I even heard you say in the interview, you said motherfuckers got to the point you seen dudes eat shit out of the toilets because they lost their mind. That was deep when I heard you say that.
Niggas. I mean, they was when you a big young. I know this kid. He was a big young boy, naturally big, like grown man, and they couldn't handle this kid. They Thorazined him up.
Damn.
Now he didn't even know who the fuck he was. He's walking around the yard picking up rocks. So, I mean, long story short, if you can't be controlled, they got places and things that can't control you if you out of control.
Deep.
You know what I'm saying? So as back to the family thing. So as everybody took flight, you know what I'm saying? Everybody started getting into life. You don't even know this is life, you know what I'm saying? But you live in it.
So what year was this around this time, if you don't mind? Paint us a picture.
Yeah, this is, man, about, let's say, from like, let's just say I was born 69, 79. Let's say like 83, 84.
Okay, all right.
My brothers probably went to the about early 80s. Yeah, early 80s. No, my one brother probably went like 79. If I was 10, no, he probably went 77, 78. Because if I was 10, yeah. I was 10 in 79. Yeah. So he went 77, 78.
Okay, so So that's when everything started shifting for you from your older brother, and then it started going from there.
I mean, I wasn't able to go out the house yet. I'm still playing on the block, still playing with the neighbors. Life is just lifing. Life
going to the candy lady.
We have those penny candies and stuff like we don't have a care in the world. That's when kids can walk to school by yourself. You don't have to worry about no car coming to snatch you up. We're just so much more family orientated. Like if you was out of pocket and your neighbor saw you, they had the right to beat you.
That's
what I'm saying? So my father was a firm disciplinarian, man. He's from that military. So if you didn't hear him, you was gonna feel him. You tell him take that garbage out, and you ain't got to come home with that garbage there, or you got to ask him for coming.
Right.
My father, he was hard, but he was fair though too. Don't get me wrong. My father didn't come home. He didn't drink and nothing like that. He didn't come home and beat the wife of the kids for no reason. When I got hit, I knew what it's for. It was something to do with school. He didn't play about that. I always said that it was things if that teacher come home, that's something I call the automatic ass whipping. She called home. That's automatic. Ain't no questions asked. You know what I'm saying? So you acting up.
So I'm gonna jump out here on the thing. So during that time, you said you really was out there playing. So I'm gonna throw a curveball. Who was your first homeboy that was? You always got that homeboy. Moms and them don't really like you to be around, but this is somebody.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah.
It was, and it was a kid 2 doors from me, right?
Okay.
So everybody could see that this kid was like, when I was with him, he would do bad things. Like, he'd be like, yo, Shannon, start running. Because he was faster than me. So he would give me the head start that I'm about to do something to this kid. He might just smack him, bang, and just take off. You know what I'm saying? He was the type of kid that was just setting fires and injections just for no reason. He was just my man David. So my father would say to me, don't hang with that kid. Don't hang with him. How the fuck I'm not gonna hang with him? He lived 2 doors away from me. How can I not hang with him?
They didn't understand that shit.
We the only 2 kids on the block. He said David going to jail. Well, little did he know that me and David was going to jail. You know what I'm saying? So, but David was bad. David was really, he had some devilment in him. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do the things that David did, but I was with him. So I was guilty by association, not knowing at that time association breeds similarity. That's my old head would always say.
That's what I wanted to hear. Yeah.
That's real shit. One day I'm coming from the swimming pool, right? Hot summer day when I'm hot. Well, you see the heat waves. You don't even see that no more, right? So
you don't even see that no more. It's real.
So you coming from the pool. You been there all day. You drained. You ashy and you hungry, right? So I'm like a couple blocks from my house. Who do I see? My father.
Oh shit!
This is when I'm gonna take it back for you. This is when there was no power windows. When you had to roll them joints down. So he like. Rolling the window down. He reach over. He just say to me, he said, wait till you get home. And just take
and drove off. Oh shit. I hate them. That's the longest walk in the world. That's the Great Mile, yo.
That's the walk to the death chamber.
Dead man walking.
Bro, that was the longest walk of my life. I just started crying through the car, boy.
I'd have been there.
My man is like, what's going on? I can't tell him. I'm not supposed to be with you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what happened? So I get home. I'm like, I'm walking the plank. Walked them 2 blocks, the longest walk of my life. So get home. My father like, didn't I tell you not to hang with that boy? I was like, I wasn't hanging with him. Did I tell you not to go to the pool with that boy? I said, I ain't going to the pool with him. He met me there.
That's an ass whooping in itself right there.
I was trying to get technical on big by that shit. To get your ass across that bed.
Real talk.
So
real talk.
Yeah, that's that. It was that one kid, but like I said, he was wanting to go to jail a whole lot. I don't know what he went to jail for. We still we see each other here and there, but like our families was real close. Like his brother was best friends with my brother, so it's like it was no way around that. You know what I'm saying? For me, and the block I lived on didn't have many kids my age. It was one other kid who lived on the next corner was my age.
Hold on, one second. So what part of New York are you originally from?
I'm from the Bronx.
Okay. Bronx. Okay.
Born and raised in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? New York. Pretty much, and family from the South. Georgia, South Carolina. So, as a kid, I would go down south see my grandparents, stuff like that. One time he left me down there and stuff like that. So, yeah, you know, and so the Bronx was, you know, at that age, your neighborhood or your city, your community becomes an all be all. You don't really see too much outside of that. You know, sometimes we can't. We don't even think about the future because we don't see enough outside our own neighborhoods.
That's true.
So we don't really know what we could possibly be. Like, I mean, literally, like one of my first trips by myself was a hustle move to DC.
That's wow.
Jumped on that train and with the work, and me and my other two men, and went to Northeast.
That's
you know
wild.
what I'm saying? We just went. The audacity of us, like not even thinking. And when you're so young, you just think that you bulletproof. Like death hadn't hit us yet. We hadn't seen that shit close up. We had just. I mean, when I say that, like you know, a cousin or older uncle might have died or something like that, but nobody your age has died yet.
Yeah,
so you feel like you bulletproof. And back then, I think I made that move. I was 15 or 16. I went out of town, right? And this may be like 86, right?
Okay.
So we make the move because
I hate to cut you off, so because I want to build up to that part. Like you said, okay, so during that time you in school, you playing and stuff. When did you? Okay, so
I was playing ball. I was pretty good at sports. You know what I'm saying? So you know, back to my life, and you know, back to my brother. He never would want me to play ball, right? And so as a result, it was just him and his friends, and I was, you know, fucking up their flow. I was short for a long time, you know what I'm saying? So they wanted to have a serious game. They could have a serious game with me on the court, with the little brother on the court. So they would take the ball from me, but as a result, my handle got better. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn how to tuck that ball in front of me, and then it went from taking the ball from me to all he want to do is dribble.
That's crazy.
So you know, when I got around my peers, I was better. You know what I'm saying? They made me better just by playing with my brothers. But my brother, he never wanted me to hang with him. And I can remember the day my father made me stop hanging with him. That shit just sticks out in my mind. So my brother, I think he turned 12 or 13, and I think I was 8 or 9. And my father's like, "Yo, Shannon, you can't hang with Derek no more."
Damn.
And I just sat in that fucking window and I cried.
Right.
As bad, as hard as my brother was on me, I still wanted to follow him. Still wanted to do everything he did. You know what I'm saying? Be with his friends. And so when he was forced to take me along, he would just outrun me.
And
my brother could leave me gassed. 3 cars to a block or half a block behind. Between the cars, you know, your lungs be burning.
Yeah.
Right. I'd be like, I'm telling. Yeah. He'd be like, so what they would do, they would be like, they would spell stuff out. MEET, like meet me at. And by the time I'm processing it, they gone. They took off. And him and his friend, he go one way, his friend go the other way.
Damn.
I would chase my brother, but not knowing I couldn't keep up with my brother. I knew I couldn't keep up with my brother. So, and they go about their day. I probably go back to the crib and go back. So then after that, I started making my own friends. You know what I'm saying? I started hanging. After that day, I started hanging out with my own friends. So at first you can't leave the block, and then as you get older and older, you get more and more leeway.
That's right.
Start going to the schoolyard around the block. Just every year I had like a new best friend.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? 3rd grade, I had a best friend. 4th grade, I had a 5th grade, and stuff like that. But all these kids are still in the neighborhood. So, you know, and occasionally we would fight each other, but it was never nothing malicious. Nothing where I wanted to kill you and stuff like that. It was just us being kids.
Hold on, Parcel. Let me shout out everybody in the chat. They coming through showing you love. We got our boy Barry White up there. We got my cousin Jabble, the boss.
Salute my guy Barry White.
E-Port Posse official. We got LeBron James up here.
Salute.
We got Brick City Tech. My boy Brick City Tech from North. You know what I'm saying? We got my boy the Mac Mizzle Show.
Mac Mizzle
on the panel a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whatever. We got Silver Point. Salute Silver Point. And we got Toxic Table. Salute Toxic Table. All right, my bad. Go ahead, bro. I just want. No, you got to show the audience love.
Oh yeah, so you know you're getting further and further. So I'm developing my own friends, right? developing my own friends, playing a little basketball, playing a lot of basketball. You know, just sports, like, you know. And I always wondered, like, especially when Michael Vick came along or Allen Iverson came along the world, it was like how the world was so amazed with these dual star athletes. But that's what we did in the hood. When it was summer, we played basketball. When it was winter, we played football.
Facts.
So I never was amazed by that, because that's what we did. You know, I knew plenty of two sports stars that probably never made it nowhere.
Yo, I play two sports all year round.
Yeah.
We play football, basketball in the winter, summer, rain, sleet, snow. It could be icy out there. You shovel off the court and you play. You take your shirt off still with a t-shirt and the winter balling. You know what I'm saying? So
even playing ball in the rain, when that ball hit that puddle and just die on you.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta pick that Jake up and dish it off and run. You trying to catch it and lay it up now. Pass and go.
You know, those simple things, those were the fun things. So, you know, like I said, so, you know, it's nothing malicious. You know, we fight, have my little fights and stuff like that. And it was this kid, and he wanted to be my best friend. And I can remember one Halloween in New York, we throw eggs and stuff like that. And, you know, and
Jersey too. We got Jersey too,
So this kid come up to me one day. He say, I got an egg with your name on it. He was a little bit, he was a couple grades older than me. But he was a tough kid, football kid, little. You know what I'm saying? He came from a hard block. Like those dudes, they just breeded like tough kids on this block, right? So he said to me, he said, "Yo, I got an egg with your name on it." And I was still a little quiet. I was a little quiet kid. You know, I wasn't on the block yet, right? So he said to me, I said, "Yo, bro, you hit me with that egg, we fighting."
Right.
I was still came from that father where, yo, my father was like, going school time, yo. Anybody hit you, hit them with a stick, brick, or bottle. My father never beat me for fighting in school. You know what I'm saying? Right. So for fighting, nah. You know what I'm saying? So boom. So he calmly walked up to me and stopped the egg on my head, and I calmly whooped his ass.
Right.
So boom, he did his best, but at that time I felt like nobody shorter than me do nothing with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always gonna use my reach on him. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. Unless you want to see some boxing stuff like that. And so boom. So I beat the fight, but before I could get home, they rolled back up on me and jumped me.
Damn. That's fucked up.
But like, okay, so a couple of days later, I had a fight in school with some white kids. You know what I'm saying? With a white kid, on a rock and roll, like Yugoslavian type kid, right? Yeah. So we went to a school, we was almost like bussed in and just junior high school. It's like my first year of junior high school. And this is how I got to the block. And not that I wasn't cutting through the block or my church is 2 blocks away from the block. Not that, you know, my school is the next block over from the block, right? So not that I wasn't always going to there, but this is how the camaraderie began with me and my infatuation with the block. Because at once upon a time, it wasn't about drugs. It was about sticking together, holding your neighborhood down, and that type of stuff. So I understand why kids are infatuated with gangs. The streets are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That school ain't.
That's true.
So I beat the boy. The boy go home and go get his uncles, his cousins, or whatever he gonna get, right? So we got like 3 buses that shipped us into this neighborhood. It's not far, but like New York, if you ever been to New York, especially back then, New York is very geographical. You're gonna know if you belong, especially in the white area. You gonna know. So back then it was just high racial tension, and we just had like 3 6-footers. You know what I'm saying, in the school, but they were our age though. You know what I'm saying? They just happened to be tall, big kids, right? So, we would have race wars at this school, bro. Like, dudes just taking off their name belts. Dudes just fighting grown men. Damn. Grown white men. So, boom. So he goes back and gets his uncles and cousins. So after I'm getting on the bus, they try to grab me. Like, my man. So the kid I fought a couple days earlier, like, nah, get off of him. And pulled me back on that bus. So he have to do that. You know what I'm saying? We just had our incident and all that type of stuff, but that kind of showed me something. And that kid would be going to be my best friend. So I can remember being on that bus that day. And the girl saying to me, she said, Shannon, I didn't know you had that many friends.
Damn.
So I said to myself, me either. And that And that was my beginning of my relationship with the block.
Wow. Because you didn't know that, because you didn't know people was riding with you like that.
Yeah, these kids is a little bit older than me. Like sometimes when what they doing, I'm still happy-go-lucky. These dudes is moving, they're starting to move and shake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm still on the porch. I don't even know what they doing, but I know they ain't doing what I'm doing. They might be in the park playing football or basketball here and there, but they got extracurriculum stuff that they into that I'm not into.
Facts.
That I can't be into. So, bam, you know, so it became about the block. So me and this kid, he became my best friend. He was the type of kid that would risk his life for you. Like, he was the type of kid that if he was around, he was the type of friend that can nothing happen to you. Nothing. Not if he can help us. So you felt like, nah, my man right here. You know what I'm saying? He was wild. This kid was wild. We just
he was a loose cannon. He was the real old dog back in the days, huh?
He was a problem. And we wasn't yet on the busting your gun type of thing, but everything else, he was with it. Everything.
Knife fights, all that.
Yeah, I see him slice the dude in his face, bust him right open. You know what I'm saying? He was with it. He's with the shit, as the kids say.
Yeah,
so
back
anyway,
then, go ahead, brother.
And the funny thing is, the last time I would see him alive was 88. Was it 87? 87. We both had a case in Maryland, and I saw him and his father. I was going to court for my case and my drug case, and he was going to court for his in Upper Marlboro. That was the last time I would see him alive. You know what I'm saying? But one of my proudest moments with that family. So his father had died some years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and I'm at the mother's house, and the lady's like, she's whispering, but I can hear her. Who's that guy right there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the mother says, mother said, yo, that's like a son to me.
Wow.
And I was like,
you did.
I did my job.
Did your job. Fact.
I helped my man. I was there for my man. You know what I'm saying? Just like he would have been there for me. I'm big on friendships.
Me too. And the fact that his mama gave you that stamp and called
and
that's why I tell you, that's what's real when you can go inside your homeboy's mama's house, when you can sit at her table, when she looks at you, that's when that's your homie. That's a real that's a real friend. That's a real partner. That's a brother.
Yeah, let me tell you some stuff. He got me kicked out of my crib one time. So as he get older, so now that era's upon us, right? So he tell me one day, he said, yo, I'm about to go do a stick up. Him and these older Jamaican dudes. My man wasn't. I live in a heavily West Indian neighborhood.
Parts up. Yo, we got 54 in the building. We got 66 in the building. Let's get them lights up. You know what I'm saying? We showing love to our brother Shannon Holmes, yo. Let's get them lights from 66 in the building. Let's at least get 50 lights. Let's go.
Yeah. So my man like, yo, I'm about to go jukes is a robbery. I'm about to go do a jukes with these other older Jamaicans. He was buying work at the time, and back then in New York, when you copped your work, the work was right in front of you. Like if you wanted 10 ounces, they're just breaking it off the brick right in front of you, right, weighing it out. Right. Yeah, it wasn't. And the money and the work was in the same spot. So he goes, sets up his plug, but he's the only one that makes it out of there. He said, yo, so he's like, yo, he came back, eyes all big. He's like, yo, I shot the nigga he said, bullets started flying, but nothing was hitting me. It was like he had a surreal out of body moment for what he was explaining to me. And I knew it was real because I see the look in his eyes. Eyes was wide. He said, so I shot the nigga who shot me, tried to shoot me, bang, bang. And so the long story short, I think the dudes who went with him, they died. But he got away with the brick, right?
Damn.
But the dude's people, they looking for him. They riding around the hood looking for him. So when he got to come to my crib. So at that time I was going to summer school. My pops double home. And I got the basement door closed for my house. Right. So that was a telltale sign. As soon as my father came in and he opened the door. So I'm upstairs. He like, yo, I pulled the couch out for him and stuff like that. He said, yo, when you leave for school, make sure he go too. I wasn't going to wake my man up. And tell him he got to go.
Facts.
I come back. They had a couple classes. I'm in the neighborhood, so I leave him there. So when I come back, my father come back. He's like, yo, you and him get out.
Damn.
So we walking around, right, with like a brick in the bag, right? It's the first time I ever saw a brick. And a shotgun. And my man's dog. We just going, we like nomads going. So all the older dudes who heard what happened on the block, they like, yo, they coming to me because they notice my man, like, yo, you seen old Dang? I'm like, nah. They know I'm lying, but you know what I'm saying? Like they want to talk to me. You see no, nah, because we know them. They mean us no good. We knew that,
right?
So anyway, you know what I'm saying? That's another story, the sidebar story. But yeah, that was me and my man. That was me and my man in a nutshell. He had heart. His heart was big as Texas, man.
So was he the guy you said? And now we get to the train station thing. So
no, he wasn't the guy that set that up for me. So let me go back to the block. So it was an older dude, good older dude. His name was Jay, and it was a Jamaican dude. Like I said, my block is like some of my dudes is Jamaican. You won't even know it because once upon a time when they came over here, it was bad to be Jamaican. Not bad, but you know, their parents they want them talking English. They didn't want them talking being Jamaican. I didn't know that. They didn't really show all their Caribbean roots. You know what I'm saying? They want them to speak proper. They went to Catholic schools and they would just blend in. They wanted to fit in. They didn't want to stand out. So that was back then, right? So it'd be like some of my dudes, you go in their house, you be like, damn, why they mother's cooking smell different? You still young. You don't know that he's Jamaican. You don't know that yet. Right. Because he's just playing and stuff. He's no different from you and me. He just live in the next house over or the next apartment upstairs. Wow. So then you start to get it like, okay, they are West Indian. So it wasn't no big deal, right? So like some of my dudes, like even like if a Jamaican fronted on me, they gonna come out their bag on him and let them know. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Say speak their little shit like, yo, bro, like nah, why you know what I'm saying? They gonna go at them niggas, right? So anyway. Yeah. So my man Jay, he goes out of town. He goes out of town with a Jamaican kid named Dennis. That was the moral of that story. He goes out of town with a Jamaican kid named Dennis. They start getting it. Now, this is the true story right here. Now, some years later, Dennis would be killed in D.C. and they would find $1 million in the attic. You can Google that. What? So they found $1 million in the attic, right? They killed him and his daughter. But my thing was this. What did they leave with to make them feel satisfied to leave the $1 million in the attic?
Right.
You
think what it was, they might have found some work or found a little cash stash somewhere and didn't think.
I don't think it was little. It was nothing little about his operation.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying far as what was in the, not from the attic, but what was in the house.
In the house like that made them happy. Yeah, like they hit the jackpot. Yeah, but the jackpot was really
bunch of pole niggas. Yeah, pole niggas trying to rob.
So boom. You know what I'm saying? Whoever did it, they were serious and they knew what they was coming for.
Right.
If you killed the dude and the daughter,
damn.
So anyway,
if you don't mind me asking, how old was the daughter?
The daughter was a teenager. Damn. 13, 14.
Wow.
So boom. So when that happened, and he was about to put my man in power, older dude, knew him all my life, named Jay. So when that happened, Jay came back to New York. He was distraught. Like you can see him like walking up and like, he was fucked up. Like death would have, because death impacts people differently. You know what I'm saying? You can't. There's no set terms on how you mourn or how you grieve. So Jay came back. You can see him like with a spaced out look. He's grieving, but he's just outside grieving. He's not hiding and grieving. So meanwhile, he's telling everybody from the hood, what's going on out there. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we got out there. So everybody started going. You see niggas packing up. Niggas broke one day, coming back rich than what we thought was rich. You know what I'm saying? Niggas broke walking and coming back with 190s and 300s. You know what I mean? Like, damn. So we as young kids, we're seeing this. And then they're not only coming back, they're coming back with these stories about DC, out of town, Boston, wherever they went. They're coming back with these stories. Connecticut, Bridgeport, Connecticut. They're coming back with stories. And it's like a scoutmaster on a campfire. This is exciting to us. And this is kind of where I get my storytelling skills from them dudes. Them dudes were verbal storytellers. I'm a written storyteller.
Right. So I got a question for you. So did a lot of your mans during that time was going down to VA? Was they doing the whole DMV thing, or they was just the DC and just Maryland joint?
At that joint, it was just DC and Maryland. Dudes would go to DC and get. Dudes would go to VA. Dudes was always trying to branch out.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I always said when I was hustling, I said if I ever go somewhere where ain't a New York dude, I'm gonna be rich. But I've never been anywhere where ain't another New York dude was.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? We one thing about some money, a New York dude is very enterprising. They will go to the lengths to get some money. And dudes they out of town because they got rid off their block. Dudes is out of town because they want to get some money faster. Because everybody in New York got to connect. Everybody and their mother.
Yeah.
It's common knowledge where to get work from. If you don't know, your man know, or your cousin know.
Facts.
So you standing next to somebody with some good product too. But out of town, you're not standing next to somebody with some good product.
Facts.
Your prices are cheaper. It's supply and demand. It's supply and demand. It's simple law business.
Right. It was like when we was in VA, growing up in VA, everybody know you go to North Carolina. If ain't nothing moving in VA, take it to Carolina, man. You can tax way much more on what we, you know what I mean? So
that was your move. So for us, it was like the tri-state area, wherever it was. Like if you had a cousin, I remember I had a man in job call, was like, yo, come to this town in PA. We went.
Yeah.
We gonna go at least.
Salute Unique Mecca in the building. Unique Mecca's in the building. Salute for the super chat, King.
Unique Mecca Audio, salute, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Yo, what's up, Unique? How you doing? I can't hear him.
No, he's in the chat. Yeah, he just in the chat? He sent the super chat. Okay. Salute, King.
Okay. Yeah, so we went out there. So my man comes back distraught. You know what I'm saying? So this is my first time. I'm putting my toe in the water. I wasn't able to, I ain't gonna lie and say I was able to just leave. But I would leave. After that money got so great, I would leave home. And so back then, there was no cell phones. So I came up with a story. My mother was like, my parents were like, what was you at all day when I first went to DC?
Thank you, bro. Peace to the God.
Yeah.
Yo, we took the train there. We turned after we sold the work. We came right back. But the wee hours of the morning, Amtrak.
So your mother everybody asking, where you been all day? You ain't been on the block. You ain't been nowhere all day.
Nowhere to be found, as the old people say, right?
Yeah. So real talk.
I said, this is what I tell her. I said, yo, I went to Great Adventure, and I said I went to Great Adventure, and the bus broke down on the highway. What's she gonna say? How's she gonna fact check?
But did she give you that look like you on something? I know you doing so. I can't tell.
Nah, I wasn't. It wasn't. The suspicion, the level of suspicion was not raised at that point.
Okay, got you. Okay,
it was nothing to substantiate that belief.
Got
you. It was no. Okay, later on. So we go to DC. So I can remember us being on. We go to New York Avenue. I don't know why we go to New York Avenue, but we on New York Avenue. Go to New York Avenue, and we at the McDonald's. And it was me, my man, God bless the dead, my man Toy, he would lose his life in Baltimore.
God bless the dead.
My man Rambo, me, Toy, and Rambo, right? Rambo was older than us. I was like a year older than Toy. So if I was 16, Toy was 15. So Toy had got a shooting in Paradise where they shot the cop.
Okay.
So they didn't know the cop was a cop. It was doing like an undercover sting and they shot the cop, him and his man. So Toy did, and he went down. He went down to what's that? What's that youth joint in DC? What's it called? What's that youth joint? It wasn't DC jail. It wasn't. He wasn't in Alcorn. None of that shit. What's that shit?
I don't. Youth jail in DC. Let me see. I'm looking for you right now. I'll tell you right now.
Look it up.
But anyway. So he would go there until he would turn 18, and then they would shift him to DC jail, to Alcorn, and then to the feds.
Okay.
So boom. So as we in we have no knowledge that we have an accent. I remember a little girl saying to me, she said, hey, New York. I'm like, how she know we from New York? We ain't know, because this is our first time out of town, not being around our family.
Yeah, East Coast niggas totally different than everybody.
It's called the Youth Service Center.
I don't think so. No. It had another name back.
YSC?
It had another name back
YSC.
then. It wasn't Oak Hill. Oak Hill was a school, so it wasn't Oak Hill. So anyway, so we knocked the work hall, come back, and that just whet my appetite. So Toy was a little bit more loose with it. Toy was from a single parent home, so he pretty much could do what he wanted to do. Like all my mans was like majority of my friends, they were single parents. So I kind of got ahead of myself. So I was playing ball, and I cut through the block one day. This is how I got in the game.
Yeah.
And I was playing ball, coming from another project, cutting through the block, and my man was like, "Yo, where you going?" I'm like, "Home. I'm hungry. My feet beat. I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? Coming from practice. Sit right here. It's this building. You know what I'm saying?" And the Jack, he's like, "Sit right here. I'll buy you anything you want." I'm like, "What?" Right. He like, "Bet." I'm like, "Bet. You order you chicken wings and French fries. I pay for it. Bet." So boom, chicken wings and French fries and a Hawaiian punch. Bam, I'm sitting there. So all day I'm watching him. He just want company because he's in the block, and shit is moving and shaking around him. But he's just sitting there. He just gotta handle the work. Right. He just wanted my company. So I see what he doing. So it wouldn't be long before that he would put me on. This is like we 13 years old, right? So we got to work, whatever. So one dude, so later on, like, "What's up?" So dudes knew me from the block, but they didn't know me criminally. People, this is what I say about the game now. People, you couldn't just come to the block, bro. You had to know somebody. Somebody had to vouch for you. It was an apprenticeship program going on back there.
Facts. That's true.
You couldn't just get fucking accident money and come to the block. Nah, because if the nigga you was with wasn't valid, you wasn't valid. If they came on the block, they gonna ask you a question. "Yo, who work you got?" And you better say the right name. It's like a gangbanger saying, "Yo, what you jacking?" You know what I'm saying?
What's your set?
Yeah, exactly. What set you playing? So boom. So the nigga, the older nigga, I've seen this plenty of times. The older nigga smack the kid and take the work. Tell him come see me if you want this back. You know what I'm saying? And that was that.
Just like
that's how my block was rocking, right? Very territorial. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a big three. You fell underneath these on a certain block. The next block with some other dudes running that block. You know what I'm saying? But they were all older than us, and they had put in dudes and put in their work, and this was their block. They had blood, sweat, and tears was shed for this block. So it was only right. It was a pecking order established, right? So one time, so I said, "Well, I got a touch now." He's like, "Nah." He said, "Shorty, just let me know if anybody go to my stash." I said, "Bet. I could do that." I'm on the block anyway, running around playing manhunt and tag. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Get a couple dollars. This is in the 80s when money was money. When $50 was like about $300. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. And the fact that you looking at people around there that's actually making it, and they making it fast, and you like, damn, you intrigued by it. Just it's generating that quick.
Yo, to a kid who got all his needs taken care of by his parents, oh, that's some good money right there. This is when rare it was a $100 pair of felines. Maybe the Jordans didn't drop yet. And it's not like now where the shit was $200 and $300 and money ain't the same value as it did. Like,
that's a fact.
This is back then. When your parents bought you some sneakers, them shits had to last for 6 months.
They had to last forever.
When you couldn't, you better not be playing in your school clothes. You better go home and change.
You better change.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just it was just a different time in the era. So so eventually, I'm just thinking I'm a be in this game and not have to do nothing to keep my hands clean. Yeah, right. One night. So one night we sneaking out, we going to a party. So we making our little, you know what I'm saying, our little money to go hang out, go party at the roller skating ring and all that type of shit. So I don't know why we went out this way, we went off the regular way out the block. And we ran into somebody we were trying to duck. This dude named Bouncer, God bless the dead. Big dude, big dude, big bald-headed dude. Very physically intimidating. Intimidation games was off the charts. And he was about that. He ran down on my man Charlie. He ran down on my man Charlie. God bless the dead. Charlie got killed in DC. So he ran down on Charlie like, "Yo, you working?" He wasn't acting. He's like, nah, Bounce, I gotta go somewhere for my grandmother. He said, what about you? I'm like, fuck it. Yeah, I work.
Right.
He's like, yo, Chuck, reply to him saying, asking me that. He said, Charlie, if I get knocked with this work, I'm gonna smack the shit out you. See,
that's crazy.
My mans was important to their drug operation because they lived on the block. The niggas who had to work on the block wasn't from the block. They might have been a couple of blocks away. So these kids that were my peers, they were important, they were crucial to their operations. Go to get that other pack as soon as they ran out. They had to go wherever they had to go to get more work. They had to stash in my man's house.
Right.
So one day, I see Bouncer. So that night, he like, yo, so everything is going smooth, regular night. So this lady pulls up. He don't want to serve her. He said, yo, shorty, you see that lady right there? I'm like, yeah. He like, yo, take this. Tell her this is my thing. Tell her I ain't out here. And he slides back in the Chinese restaurant. Back there, the Chinese restaurant was the favorite hangout of the hustlers, pizza shops and Chinese restaurants.
Right.
And it was so bad. He used to be like, yo, you no pay, you no stay. Ow.
Right.
So long as
so long as y'all breaking bread and spending money in there, y'all can stay all day.
Bro, we used to buy some French fries, chicken wings and French fries, and baby shit that shit all day, sit right there. Watch the action go back and forth.
Right.
Boom. So he points the lady out, he give me a work, and I'm scared as shit. I'm like, yo, I muster up the courage. To say to him, yo, Bounce, I don't serve people. He was like, what? What?
He said, don't freeze up on me right now, yo. This is sales time. We in the business of selling. Nah, ain't no backing out.
That nigga put a battery in my back the wrong way. And Bounce was Jamaican too, by the way. Bounce was Jamaican. So Bounce,
right.
he said, what? You do what the fuck I tell you to do before I smack the shit out of you. That was enough for me. That was enough encouragement for me. So I go over there and I'm scared. I'm busting the sale. We wound up not even making the transaction. I think I might even drop some work in a car or some shit like that too. But the whole point of that was I see my brother's friend, my older brother's friend is on that corner. He's not hustling though. You know, he may have a brew or some shit just on the block. Because that's what the block was. It was just alive, it was electric, it was just everything. It was the place you wanted to be. If he wasn't doing nothing, even if he wasn't hustling, you just wanted to be out there. Right. It was just people, it's our neighborhood, it's our hood. So he gave me this look like, I'm telling your brother. And I'm like, I wasn't scared of that. Because my brother, like as I said before, my brother was a half a world away in Korea and Germany. My brother would do 8 years in the military. And to me, that was like a bit.
Yeah.
As he was away, I was growing up. I was coming into my own. I didn't have my brothers to go home and go get, to fight for me. I had to fight for me. Win, lose, or draw. I had to fight for me.
That's real.
So that kind of prepared me. Like a lot of this stuff kind of prepared me for that life I would get into for the other side of the game, which was jail. So I didn't have a problem fighting the older dude. If you wonder what, like if you wrong me or you wonder what's up, I didn't have a problem. I didn't have that problem.
Shannon, Unique Mac Warrior. So you talk about the bouncer from Brooklyn named Shannon?
No, I don't know. No, that's not. I never knew Bouncer's real name, but Bounce was Jamaican. I just read that.
Yeah.
I never knew Bouncer's real name. He had wound up getting deported later on in life, but what was I about to say? And he died in Jamaica. But so yeah. So I had to fight for myself. So I always hated those kids who ran home and got their brother because I didn't have that luxury. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because everybody was gone at that time. This is you.
Yo. You know, and I ain't gonna say I was the best fighter of my neighborhood. No, you know what I'm saying. But I won more than I lost. Mm-hmm. I took some L's. I tapped out one time, but they knew that I was fighting. Ain't nobody want to fight nobody who'll keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't no. I wouldn't want to fight you again if I lost. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was only one dude, and I did it to myself. We on a block, we fighting. It was on my sister, and he had hit my sister in school. But he had been telling me, "Yo, please tell me." My sister had niggas under pressure. in school.
Said she had these under pressure for real.
Yo, she her nature's just she is so aggressive. I said, if my sister was a dude, it'd be a lot of dead people in this world because she was just that aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And she beat a few dudes I didn't think I could beat. But after she beat him, I'm like, shit, I beat their ass. I beat her ass up and down this house. You know what I'm saying? So he hit my sister. I come right out to the block, see him. But he had told me, like, yo, please tell your sister, plead with me. But anyway, they got into it in school, and that was it. And then he hit my sister, and that it didn't matter what happened at that point. I had to fight. We had to fight.
Yeah.
But so we fighting, boom, boom, boom. But he was more of a wrestler. I was more like with my hands. You know what I'm saying? So he was stronger than me. So he had got me like in a headlock. So I had picked him up and suplexed this nigga in the middle of the street, thinking that was gonna break the headlock. No, it did not. Man, that nigga bashed my head into the. Yo, that nigga was bashing my head like driving. Yo, he took my head and drove it into the concrete. Boom, boom, boom. I had to tap out. But you know,
he's putting them hands on you then.
But like I said, there was nothing malicious. It's just things we had to do. Dude just wanted to know.
Oh yeah, hold up. Oh yes, Shannon. Unique Medical Audience said, no, Bouncer is his name. I was telling y'all that the Bouncer Shannon talking about is from Brooklyn. He got deported and killed in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Salute, Jim.
Yeah, so Bouncer, so that was my first brush. So as that's happening, so I had to fight. So now DC's in full effect. Everything. We got teams. It got so bad on my block, it wasn't who wasn't in Brooklyn. I mean, who wasn't in DC. Who was on the block, it was who wasn't on the block.
Facts.
Because we were just going out of there in droves and droves. And so for me, what happened was I had an incident. My cousins jumped me. My distant cousins jumped me, right? And we was on the block. And I came back to the block, and my man, they jumped me. He split my eye. And my man was like, yo, that ain't your fucking cousins. Nigga did that to me. Gave me the burner, huh? Go do it to him. Took the joint, walked down. I saw him, but I couldn't do it because I was like, yo, that's family. There ain't no coming back from that, Shannon.
That's real.
Even though they did what they did to me, I had to eat that. My pride couldn't let me just hit my cousin because it's more to it than that. I hit him, is now his mother and my father at odds and shit like that.
It probably, if anything, probably hurt you more knowing that's your fam. And you was drawn in between it, and people don't realize that that's where it started getting real because damn, you decided, man, I got to eat this because it's the game, and the game is to be played like this. But damn, this family it's
because growing up, it was a different sense of family back then, man. My family was my first gang. You know what I'm saying? We was just that deep.
That's right.
My mother come from 9, my father come from 11. We was just deep. Like we didn't go outside. We had an issue. We going out to Brooklyn. We going here. That's what it was. My father, put hands. Like my father worked transit, but my father he was a country dude. He always came home from transit, driving them trains in New York. He drove the trains in crazy 70s, early 80s. You know what I'm saying? So he would come home every day with a fight story. Yo, I hit that cocksucker. Bam! Everybody was a cocksucker to him.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So boom.
Say cocksucker.
I think he looked for conflict. I remember my father smacked me so hard, I thought he punched me. Boom! His hands was just that hard.
He had them old hands, them southern hands.
He had the mechanic hands.
them bricklayer hands. They lay the bricks.
Hey, go gadget concrete on your ass.
Yeah. So what happened was so we go out to DC. So after that was the plot point or the exciting incident, if you want to say in a movie, that made me. So I used that shit. I said, yo. So I come home, my father's like, yo, what happened to you? I'm like, nothing. I'm gonna eat that. So he go to them niggas, not even knowing them, the niggas that did it, and they tell him, well, remember you told me to stop him from selling drugs? So niggas lied on me. I said, wow. And I was hurt.
Salute, slugger.
I was hurt that he believed that lie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is my chance. I said, I'm out of here. I went to my sister's house. I said I went to my sister's house. I went down to DC for the weekend, and I never came back. And the next thing I knew, they had took my clothes to my sister's house. But to me, my rationality was this, yo. That school always been there. This money might not be here. So let me jump on this money train that everybody else was doing. So I was doing what my friends was doing. They didn't have to make a drastic move like me, but
right,
they were still going out of town. They had the leeway inside their house to do that because they were coming from one parent households. You know what I'm saying? So me, I had to. My father always told me, he said, "Yo, you gonna get a job or get out of here." He never told me I'm gonna get a career. Jobs don't last, careers do.
That's a fact.
But we're taught. You know, I always say this: to know somebody, you gotta know their parents, and know their parents, and know their parents, because this is where you get this shit from. So later in life, when my nephew would come to live with me in North Carolina, and I would say something, I found myself saying some of the things. He said, "You sound like my father." I said, "Oh, who the fuck you? We both got the same father. Where the fuck you think we get this shit from?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He thought it was gonna be a sweet ride because I was his cool uncle. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm giving like, yo, bro.
Yeah, this is the. But see, you came in that era, like you said, you just couldn't go to the block, man. You had to have a resume. You can't just walk up to anybody. You had to go up that tier. I remember being around the older folks. They'd come around and you'd be like, "Hey, man, I want to try to get." They'd be like, "Bro, we don't do none of that, bro. We don't even say, what are you talking about?" They'll run you off and make you go figure out another way to go get to it. And then they watched you go get it and how you move.
Yeah. And then, even then, it's like, yo, and then back then, you know, dudes told back then, but it wasn't as prevalent as this. And back then, when somebody told, they went down south, never to be seen again. These dudes tell and come right back to the block and dare you to say that they told.
Facts.
These dudes be having their mothers in paperwork, giving them the information so their name won't come up in paperwork. And so, like my brother's friend, my older brother was a 5%. His name was Sean Allah. His friend name was Born Savior. I always loved that name, Born Savior. That was like a beautiful name to me, right? I remember seeing the lessons on the dresser, you know what I'm saying? Wanted for Murder, Mr. Pig, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up in that era when the guards was heavy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the best thing my brother ever did was get my family stop eating pork. He got that shit in the 70s, and my father was like, "Yo, he right." He right, you know what I'm saying? And we stopped eating pork. Yeah, stop buying that pork. So boom. So my brother was God by. So and when there was a lot of resistance to the guards in the streets, you know what I'm saying? The guards was like, you know, looked upon like, "Your niggas is God, okay, yeah, you know, shit like that." So I remember people calling my house and be like, "Hello, can I speak to Sean Do?" And my father would be like, "No, ain't no
damn Sean dudes
dude live here.
Yeah,
Sean dude don't live here, but you can speak to Bobby." My father, he did not respect any name changes. If your mother named you Frankie, that's who you was to the day you to him.
Yeah.
Everybody could call you.
That's the old folks.
Yeah, that's old people. Yeah, that's true.
Everybody could call you whatever they want, but not him. And my father was like the disciplinarian, not for my family, for my whole family. My father whooped ass.
Real talk.
So I can remember my uncle saying to me many couple years ago, many years ago when I made it. He said, "Yo, I thought you would be he said, you know, based on what I had in front of me, the opportunities I had, you know what I'm saying? So I thought you'd be the one to make it." I said, "Yeah, I did. Just a whole lot of years later than anybody thought I would."
That's real. That's deep.
You know what I'm saying? That was deep for him even to say that to me. I was like, wow, like I didn't know. You don't know. I felt the pressure, but you don't know what other people's looking at as you. So this Bob,
right.
this Bob.
Let me ask you a question. So let's go to like your first bid, where you decided to start writing, and what made you decide to start writing. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can get to know your books. I'm about to call those books out so y'all can check it out too. Hold up.
I could call it out better than you.
I wrote them.
I'll call them out in chronological order for you.
Go ahead.
Be More Careful, Bad Girls, Never Go Home Again, Dirty Game, Bad Girls for Life, and there's another Be More Careful. I got like some trilogies, not trilogies, some short story books out there too. So it's like 8 of them. You know what I'm saying?
Hard White.
Hard White, yeah, Hard White, all that. So okay. So like I said, go to DC, loving it out there. What's up, yo? Trying to curve. I'm like, what? It's a whole different language I got to get used to. And I can remember hearing the go-go. And I can remember going to a few go-go's. I think it was a branch on Branch Avenue. What's the name of that? Crystal Skates. Up in Crystal Skates. So my man, like, he had a girl from DC, like, yo, let's go out there. Let's go snatch some. I said, yo, dogs, we're not going up in there and snatching Shanita out of nothing. right. Not the way he want to do it. I'm like, yo, bro, niggas is deep up in there, bro. We gonna get murdered. You know what I'm saying? So the energy with the tension was hot between, but at first it wasn't like that at first when I came in. You know, they was embracing us, but you know, New York niggas came down there with that gun game. With their gun game traveled, and you know, after a while, dudes was like, yo, they started doing the same. They picked up on it. You know, DC became very violent and very dangerous, but I never felt, I always say this about DC, I never felt danger in my life the way I felt it in DC. You had to keep it on you, have it on you. It wasn't no leaving it, yo. Dudes was giving you would go back for your gun like you would go back for you if you left your phone right now. That's how it was with your gun. And dudes were like, yo, you going? Take this with you. It was just like, so it was normal behavior. And then you had those military bases around DC, around and from Virginia. And some of those soldiers would get hooked on drugs, and they would steal them M16s or whatever they were stealing, government issue 45s, and bring them to the hood for working halves. Everybody, working half, for those who don't know, working half is a blow up. It's $100 worth of crack for $50. So you could bust it down and make your own little work out of it. So people was actually, that was a nice little byproduct. So bam. So I was hustling more we was hustling in Maryland in PG County. Behind the door. We took the New York spot idea and brought it out there. While my other niggas was in Paradise and Mayfair, Minnesota Avenue, up on 8th and H, not 8th and H, 4th and Rhode Island. Shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Them projects up there, I got the name of them shits up there. Just all over the city. Greenway, Minnesota Avenue, Alabama Avenue, all that niggas all over the place, right? So when I would go, when the money would get slow, I would go to the money. Because I knew I had niggas out there. You know what I'm saying? So I was going out there alone, but I knew I wouldn't be alone.
Facts.
I knew I would bump it. If I went out there to those projects, Paradise and Mayfair, I was bumping into somebody I knew from my hood.
Wow.
Go out there, knock off some work, then come back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have to be out in the danger zone like they were. I was behind the gate, but you know, it was things like my man would say, yo, Shannon, when nigga open, I would have the gun out behind the door. You wouldn't see it. And he said, Shannon, put your foot on the door. He said, yo, if a nigga kick through that, if a nigga bust through you already know what it is, hit him. You know what I'm saying? And this is him telling me this shit at 17, 18. You know what I'm saying? And we became really close because he told me, he said, yo, people don't understand why me and you so close. He said, because one point in time, your life was in my hands and my life was in your hands. Because we was in that spot.
All right, one second. I'm going to cut your wisdom. At 10 o'clock, this is going to be the first part of it. At 10 o'clock, we can cut off and we'll start it again because I got to go look at the house with my wife. She's usually the president at 10 o'clock. But we want to do a two-part. I want to make this a two-part. So
I want to do this.
Okay. So let me speed it up. So now I know why you're speeding it up. So you know, we out there. You know, I'm just having the time of my life, doing what I want to do, buying what I want to buy, eating what I want. This shit fun to me. I still don't see the danger in it yet. I feel the danger, but I still don't. Nobody get hit yet. My man catches the case to shoot the police in Paradise. They block off. Paradise was one way in and one way out. And if they block that shit off, it's over. It's only a footbridge over the highway that you could walk out of. But once that shit happened, I was coming to Paradise that day and I looked, I see they wouldn't let nobody enter and wouldn't let nobody leave. Okay. It was Paradise and it was Kenilworth. Sometimes I would go up in Kenilworth. I was doing a lot of shit, a lot of dangerous shit by myself, not even realizing what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I caught the case. So I was going to DC. I had a couple ounces about to, just shake out, come back. And my man say, yo, go to the store for me. And he was sick. So I go to the store for him. I'm on New Hampshire Avenue at a 7-Eleven. I'm New York out of it. I got the 20 belows. I got the shirling on. I got the gold teeth. You know what I'm saying? I got my Diddy bop. You know what I'm saying? I'm a kid.
Right.
But I got a license. That's what dudes liked about me. I had a license. I was 16 years old. My father made sure I had a license. So boom. That's why. So I was the one that was always doing the driving and shit like that. Like when niggas wanted to get legal, I did the driving. So I gets pulled over, gets knocked, gets out on bail, 5,500 up on Marvel, get out on bail, get knocked again. In the middle of me being out on bail, my man and them get knocked for a murder up in Edgewood. That's 4th Rhode Island. They get knocked for a murder. Like police come, DC come, police. When they got raided, what did they have? Police from Maryland and DC came because it happened in Maryland. You know what I'm saying? So boom, they get knocked for the murder, and I wouldn't see them dudes till like 25 years later. They go to the penitentiary in Baltimore and all that type of shit. I can remember being up there with my man, and like before they say up the road, you're going up the road. That means you're going upstate. You're going to House Department of Corrections. So that morning they was taking me. I went to my man's cell, and I can always remember him telling me this. He's like, "Yo, be strong, soldier." You know what I'm saying? Not that he had to tell me that, but he told me that he was older than me, so I wouldn't see him till like 25 more years later. So boom, guess not. Go upstate to Hagerstown, and in that process, I had never met a dude more like a New York nigga than a Baltimore dude. You know what I'm saying? We were so much alike. We got family there. Not to say New York dudes don't have family in DC, but DC got its own culture. DC and Baltimore, they're like night and day. Right. You know what I'm saying? They don't get along, and they're rivals. They don't get along. But I got along with everybody. Like basketball was a universal language. If you could ball, niggas like you. You could hoop. Yep. Niggas like, yo, let me get New York. You know what I'm saying? So Joe could play. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. I don't like passing that rock, so they love me, right? So I didn't write that bit. Still, I ain't gonna say like this was a magic bullet. Like I got locked up and found myself. No, it took me several times of being locked up, hitting my head against that wall, going right back out, doing very things said I wasn't gonna do no more.
How much time did you do all together?
I did 11 years. I get these people life on installment. Two threes and a 5. So my first bid was 8. I did 3.5 on that. Second bid was I think 2 or 3 because I got a violation in that, and the third bid was the 5. Yeah. So 5. So
I hate to cut it. What I want to say too before I want to ask you on that part. When you was sitting up in there waiting on it from the charges, waiting to see what was going on. How long did you had to wait before your trial came up, or did you just went on ahead and copped out?
I copped, bro. I copped.
Okay.
I copped. So it was my thing is this, like I always been wanting to weigh my options and be reasonable. Dudes be making them lie so much they believe like, yo, they really ain't got nothing on you. Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah,
yes, they do.
They wouldn't come fuck with you if they didn't.
Yeah. So me, I'm like, Shannon, I got 2 cases now. 2 cases. So I gotta consolidate these shit. So I want to get 8 years at 18 years old. And I'm to me, that sounded like forever. 8 years, like, damn, you can't. How can I even see that far when you just live in summer to summer?
Damn,
what I'm saying? How you see that far? Like, I remember my man, I went to DC jail to see my man. They gave him 5 years. I cried, bro. They gave him 5 years. I cried, bro. Cause I'm like, damn, like I couldn't see that far. So boom, I get the 8. You gotta man up. You gotta face some harsh realities, and and just hold yourself down. So when you're in jail, especially you from out of town, you're forced to make these allegiances and these alliances. Like, I might not like this dude from New York, but because he's from New York, we together. Because everybody clicked up. DC with DC, West Baltimore with West Baltimore, East Baltimore with East Baltimore. You gotta you gotta be with somebody. Not in the game, but if something pop off, you gotta like, yo, bro, we gotta go address this. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I can remember dudes coming to me and like, yo, New York, what's up with your man? And in my mind, I got to address this as aggressively as I possibly can, because I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to divide and conquer. He's trying to see where I'm at with this dude. If I say fuck that nigga, they on him. He fool. He a plate. So I know if it's him today, it's me tomorrow. We not getting to me. We about to address this shit right now. You know what I'm saying?
And on that note, we gonna hold that because we got to do the part 2. Because I know my man got. We don't want to get it. You want to get the queen man. So.
Yo, check this out. What time are you available to do the part 2?
Man, when you get done, man, because I want to pick this king brain, man. I'm going deep. Because a lot of people don't ask him these questions.
Yo, bro, you dare me have me crying on one thing, thinking about that with me and my brother. That was something very personal. Like he thought he left me, but you know what I'm saying? He had to go save his life.
But see, this is what I do even on my podcast to let people know, man. We get past the shell of that. People probably ask you the same redundant questions. I'm gonna ask you something that as a black man, we all go through. The problem is we don't never express it. And I appreciate you even showing, again, I always tell people, even Superman weakness is kryptonite, my nigga. We all got a weakness, and we all got something that we feel as men, and we got to start saying that.
Yeah, so I was just like,
Yo, check this out. So I'm gonna do it like this. At 12 o'clock p.m., give you some time to get some, because we want to get a whole story. We don't want to know.
Now you gotta give me a little bit late, like 1 o'clock. I'm about to go to the gym, so me come out of that gym.
1 o'clock there.
That'd be 12 my time. Yeah, man. I appreciate you, Mr. Holmes. Man. Can't wait till we're gonna start right there with the jail, his situation, and what he had to deal with.
How you try to write and stuff like that.
I remember, like, before I say this before I leave. An old dude told me when I came in jail, he said, here, you got to have eyes on all sides. To be alert is to be alive. That shit stuck with me. Oh, my God.
And it better stick with y'all until we come back. Part 2.
To 1 o'clock this afternoon, Eastern time. Yo, Mr. Holmes, I appreciate you, bro. I can't wait to get the second part.
I appreciate this. This probably the best interview I ever had. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Thank you, bro.
We got some more. We got some more to ask you at 1 o'clock, bro. Because we ain't finished yet. We're gonna let the people know.
We're gonna make this happen. This is gonna be epic.
Your books. We need you to drop we're gonna drop the links in the chat for your books.
Everything.
In the second part, so they can go. People that didn't read it, they can go read it.
Better yet, let's let them watch the movie.
Yep. We're gonna have the mods drop the links. We're gonna get them to get all the links together, drop your books, and talk about with your movie. And are we gonna go deep? I've been doing my homework. I respect kings, man. Iron sharpens iron, king. So on that note, appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna let Born do his thing. Y'all tap in part 2.
1 o'clock. Be there, be square.
Peace to the 5% nation, the gods and nerfs. Salam alaikum, alhamdulillah, rahmatullah to all the true Muslim brothers and sisters out there. This is the King of New Jersey. This is BTBTV. We bully the bullies. I'm your honorable host, Born Divine Almighty Allah.
You got unique number? You got unique number?
I got his number.
All right. Tell him I said I want his number.
Yep. All right, I got his number. All
right, I'll tell 1 o'clock.
Crips, nigga. We doing our own thing. BTBTV just started his own game like, nigga, what? Let's get it.
I'll let you later. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Peace.